But I want you to hear a little bit of Davy's story as we prepare our hearts for worshiping the Lord this morning.
Thank you all for letting me be here. I'm not a public speaker, and I promise I won't sing a song or anything like that for you. But when Brother Jimmy asked me to come and talk, it dawned on me that I'd never, being a preacher's kid, I'm 41 years old, and I'd never given a testimony. I never thought I had a testimony because I was brought up in the church. I never had a sad story or sob story. I've been blessed my whole life, wonderful parents. And everybody I see with testimonies has got a sad story of where, God's lifted them up. Well, He's kept me up. I've never had a down moment. And I felt kind of guilty in a way because I've been so blessed, But in light of recent events, when he asked me, it dawned on me that kind of gave me the answer as to why. A lot of people have been asking the question, why? Why what the things that recently happened. On August 3rd, I had appendicitis and was rushed to the hospital. Go to the hospital, and I've never been to the hospital in my life. I've never had an IV. I've never been, sick or anything. They do the CAT scan, and they come back and tell me that the news that everybody hates to hear. Well, we can't see your appendix because there's a large mass in the way. So they take me in, they do emergency surgery. When I wake up, I'm in a room with my family and friends, and everybody's crying. I know I'm alive, so apparently I'm obvious to what the news is. And the doctors come in and tell me that they'd removed 2 tumors and that I have stage 4 colon cancer. And that didn't really sink in until the doctor told me that, I was looking at around 2.5 years left to live. Well, that's when it kind of sunk in, as far as put a number on your own mortality. And I simply responded that, last time I checked, I didn't have an expiration date, and I've got plenty of faith that God's going to take care of me, and He's not done with me exactly yet. But if He is, I'm fine with it. Like I said, I'm a police officer, and I've been looking. I've had plenty of opportunities to die in my 20-year career. God's seen me through all of that,
right.
And everybody's asked me, well, how can you still be so positive and uplifted and be so positive? And I had no reason not to be positive.
That's right.
He's taken care of me through everything. And actually, this has been actually a blessing because through all this, I've been able to, actually touch people that I never would have been. My Facebook post where nobody ever make a comment on my Facebook page until I got sick. And now I got thousands of hits a day. I've had people from all over the world, people I didn't even know, tell me, how much my story's meant to them, and that would have never happened and had not touched their lives, and how much, my story has been inspiring to them, and how much it, God's meant to them because of what I said. And none of that would have happened if I hadn't got sick. I wish I had a good feel-good story that, I'm 100% cured and everything's fine. No, still sick. But I'm okay with that. And I got faith God's going to bring me through it.
Yes.
And I preference that because of the trip. I wasn't going to go with my dad this time. He asked me to go, and then I got sick, and I said, well, I guess I think I'm going to go now. God was speaking to me and was wanting me to go, and I was like, I need to go dip myself 7 times in the Jordan River. I've done that before on the trip before, and I felt compelled to do that. So we went on the trip, and of course, with my story, we had 20 other people. My dad took the group down to the trip. He had 20 other people on the trip, or a little over 20 people. And of course, and then everybody got inspired by the story. We were in Capernaum, and Daddy said some words in Capernaum. And if y'all are familiar with Capernaum, is the city where Jesus did his healings. At Peter's mother-in-law's house was the first one, and then he healed an official, and he kept going back to Capernaum. Well, standing right in front of the mother-in-law's house, which is right here on the screen. Underneath, they built, of course, in Israel, they built churches over all the important pieces of archaeological, history that's in the Bible. And they built a church here over top of Peter's mother-in-law's house, where Jesus healed Peter's mother-in-law. Everybody in the group, laid hands on me, and it's the first time this ever happened to me. And it's amazing to feel the power of Jesus and God, the Holy Spirit moving through you. I mean, and it dawned on me, this stuff's real. It's not fake. This ain't an internet fairy tale. This place has really happened. God is real, and the power is real.
Yes.
And later on, we traveled in and went to the Dead Sea. I floated around the Dead Sea, and went on down to the first spot, the commercialized spot of the Jordan River, where everybody and their mama goes to have the baptism. Well, we get there, and last time this is not it, but this is the second spot. I went there, and it was so commercialized, and I got sick. It was disgusting. It was kind of like the Jesus going in to see the money changers in the temple, how they were just commercialized in the whole event. So I just sat back, and I wasn't going to do it. My dad was like, "You were going to, get in the room." I said, "No, I'm not going to. This is too commercialized. I don't feel it. It's not a public event. It's something private between me and Jesus. And I just don't feel it. I'm just not going to do it. It's not where I want to go. It's not, I'm not going to do it." The whole trip I was going to plan on going over there, and this is why I said no. Well, then after that, we went, and the guide said, I think we're going to go one spot that we've never been before, never opened up to tourists. It's the actual spot where Jesus was baptized. They had it closed off to tourists, but the water is not as clean. We think the Jordanians dumped their sewage in it, and it's near the Dead Sea, so it's real salty. But we wouldn't advise you to get in it, but we're going to go to it. And so we got there, and this is it. It's a beautiful spot. Jordan is right there on the right. If you're looking up the river, the banks are not that wide at all. And the water clarity reminds me of our Mississippi rivers, so it wasn't that big of a deal for me. Yeah. They didn't know where I came from. So I went down, I sprinted down first and jumped in, and without anybody or any fanfare, I was able to, dip 7 times in the Jordan right there, without any kind of fanfare at all, and I felt the presence of the Holy Spirit and God is amazing in that spot right there. There, and they say it's undeniably that's where John the Baptist was baptizing everybody. They know that's that spot. In fact, across the river on the Jordanian side, they built the church there. But of course, we're on the Jewish side, the Israeli side, and they say, that doesn't make any sense for it to happen on that side of the bank. What, are they going to cross all the way over the bank and then get baptized and then cross back over? So the Israeli side are saying that their side is the side, which makes sense. But anyway, the presence of God it was amazing, and it was a great trip. And if anybody has the opportunity to really go, I highly recommend it. And it would definitely be a blessing, and puts it into perspective as how these places are real, how God is real, and you definitely will feel God's presence.
Wow. Would y'all help me thank David? Just stand right here.